A trembling silence hangs over the Bloodfire Peaks, where the dust of shattered formations still chokes the air. Legends whisper of the Alchemy Emperor's resolve, yet even his iron will faces the abyss. Alchemy Emperor of the Divine Dao, Chapter 1507, Chapter 1508, the clash of immortal cultivators has left the valley scorched and secrets unearthed, secrets that could tilt the balance of the Divine Dao itself. As the wind carries the cries of the fallen and the smell of burning alchemy, the stage is set for choices that will echo beyond the mortal realm. Will courage carve a path through chaos, or will ambition consume all in its fiery wake? Legends whispered of the great Ling Forbidden Land, yet here, in the jagged mountains where the wind tore like blades, no soul seemed to recognize its name. Hukan and his companions exchanged wary glances, their faces shadowed with disbelief. A forbidden land? They muttered silently, shaking their heads. Never heard of it. Hu Bing's scoff carried the weight of disdain. How could a rustic fool like you claim such origins? He jeered. In his eyes, any person hailing from a legendary domain would never squander great treasures for mere trifles like the steps before them. Such ignorance was humiliating. But Ling Han's heart beat differently. Every stone, every hidden relic of this treasure trove belonged to him. From whichever land he had emerged, who among mortals could obstruct his path? With a tongue sharpened by countless encounters, he shot back with a sly edge. You've never even heard of the great Ling Forbidden Land? Truly, your ignorance is boundless. A hiss of fury erupted from Hukan and his companions. No such forbidden land existed, they thought. He must be a charlatan. Yet he dared call them crude? The audacity made their blood boil. Do not quarrel endlessly, Hukan warned, a shadow of menace darkening his gaze. All right. Hu Bing's lips curved into a cold smirk. He assessed Ling Han with the practiced eye of a seasoned warrior. Words, however sharp, were nothing in the face of true skill. With emotion fluid yet forceful, he unleashed a punch. Origin power condensed into a fist of stone, yet its true might was modest, barely reaching the low extreme of the eternal river tier. Why so weak? The answer lay in the cruel mountain winds that clawed at all who dared enter. These were no ordinary gusts. They were torrents of regulation, capable of tearing flesh from bone. Only by channeling one's origin power could one hope to survive. Here, even the strongest cultivators were tempered by nature's wrath. Though Hu Bing exerted his utmost, his strength could scarcely pierce the storm. Ling Han, ever unfazed, merely flicked a finger and returned to his labor, digging at the steps with the casual air of one tending a garden. Hu Bing's hair bristled with fury. We are at war, and you still digging? He thought, his patience shattered. The fist surged toward Ling Han, a jagged stone missile of restrained power, yet the flash of Ling Han's sword chi met it with effortless grace. The stone fist split as if carved by the wind itself, fragments veering harmlessly past him. But the sword chi did not falter. It struck forward, intent on the attacker. Hu Bing froze. Normally, a low-extreme Eternal River tier attack was insignificant, yet the Tempest had already drained his reserves, leaving him defenseless. The strike cut through the final barrier of his strength, and even Hu Jing's jade-like palm could not endure it. The blade of light tore past, rending his chest and flinging him through the air. Brother Bing! The others lunged, cradling him with urgent care. Though wounded, Hu Bing found breath enough to insist, I'm fine. The attack had lost some of its force through successive encounters, yet even so, the mountain winds made even survival a trial, shocked. Hukan and his companions felt shame and disbelief. Their arrogance, born of kingship from a supposed forbidden land, had been pierced by a mere youth. Could he truly hail from the great Ling Forbidden Land, or was there some other hidden power behind this prodigy? Hu Jing's eyes blazed with righteous anger. She had intervened, yet still could not shield her companion. Ling Han ignored her entirely, absorbed in his task, a deliberate slight that stirred murderous intent within her. Empress Luanxing stepped forward with serene authority, her presence like a calm sea before a storm. My husband has no time for you. Allow me to exchange a few blows, she declared. Hu Jing's resentment surged, fueled by humiliation and fury. With a soft exhalation, the ground erupted beneath her, jagged stone spears shooting skyward like the fangs of the earth itself, aimed at the Empress. Yet Luanxing, armed with the absolute beginning stone, moved with grace and deadly precision? The stone tool smashed the rising spikes to fragments, a display both terrifying and beautiful. She closed the distance, brick in hand, and struck Hu Jing across the face. The mountain winds rendered defense nearly impossible. Hu Jing flew backward, collapsing under the force. Her injuries dwarfed those of Hu Bing, and she was hauled to her feet by her companions, humiliated and shaken. Yet the brick bore markings, ancestral inscriptions gleaming faintly in the storm. Ancestor Wenshin. The absurdity of such a scene was lost on no one, except the attackers, who were too preoccupied with the Empress's strange weapon. Absolute beginning stone? Hu Kan muttered under his breath, awe tinged with fear. Hu Shuyu, her gaze sharp, confirmed with conviction. It must be. No external force can shatter it. Ancestral words are inscribed. Truly, it is the absolute beginning stone. Eyes gleamed with avarice. To possess such an artifact was to command secrets that could echo through generations. A treasure not only of defense, but of unimaginable legacy. The Seven, united by pride yet stung by defeat, knew one thing for certain. The challenge had only begun, and the mountain winds themselves were witnesses to a clash of legends. A struggle where power, cunning, and heritage intertwined in a dance as old as the immortal realm itself. The air trembled atop the jagged peaks, where the wind howled like a living beast, carrying with it the raw fury of the mountains. The name Great Ling Forbidden Land hung in the air, yet for Hu Kan and his companions, it was nothing more than a phantom whisper. They exchanged bewildered glances, shaking their heads in unison. This fabled place was foreign to them. Humph! Hu Bing scoffed, his disdain cutting through the wind. A bumpkin like you claiming to hail from a forbidden land? Laughable! Who in their right mind would ignore a grand prize and fuss over mere steps? How embarrassing! Ling Han, however, remained untouched by their derision. His mind was fixed only on the treasures that lay ahead. Whether from some obscure forbidden land or the distant corners of the world, who could dare stand in his way? His voice, laced with the steel of mockery, rang out. You haven't even heard of the Great Ling Forbidden Land. Truly, your ignorance is astounding. His tongue, honed sharp from countless battles and the biting black of his past encounters, delivered each word with cutting precision. A hiss of fury escaped Hu Kan's lips. The world knew no such forbidden land. This was clearly an impostor, yet here he was, daring to call them crude. Anger flared like wildfire. Enough of his provocations, Hu Kan warned, his voice heavy with menace. Hu Bing's cold smirk mirrored his anticipation. His body moved, and a fist carved from condensed origin power surged toward Ling Han. The rock-like fist, though seemingly mighty, carried only the strength of a low extreme eternal river tier, pitiful to any seasoned cultivator. The wind, infused with the mountain's destructive regulations, demanded that even the most powerful summon every ounce of their origin power just to endure it. Weak though it was, Hu Bing's attack was enough to mortally threaten Ling Han, or so he believed. The seven warriors, kings and prodigies alike from a forbidden land, crossed their arms in pride, certain of their dominion. None could match them, none in this world. Ling Han's response was a mere flick of his finger. He tapped the stone steps as if immersed in some trivial task, his focus on the treasure rather than the threatening fists aimed at him. Rage twisted Hu Bing's face. Fool! You dare dig while we fight? Then die! The stone fist lunged with deadly intent, but Ling Han's finger moved with the grace of flowing water. A flash of sword chi erupted, slicing the stone fist in two, redirecting its fragments harmlessly past him. Yet the sword chi did not waver. It extended like a relentless blade toward Hu Bing himself. Hu Bing's confidence faltered. He had spent nearly all his origin power stabilizing against the mountain winds, and his strike had drained the remainder, leaving his defenses brittle. Even a strike from the low extreme could shatter him. A woman stepped forward, her palm like a slab of jade, attempting to block the sword chi. Thank you, Sister Jing, Hu Bing began, but the words died in his throat as the sword chi shattered the jade-like hand, piercing into him. Blood erupted, and he was flung back by the force. His companions caught him, but the impact had been severe, a stark reminder of Ling Han's terrifying skill. Hu Kan and the others seethed. Their plan to subdue a country bumpkin had crumbled. It was Hu Bing who bore the brunt of Ling Han's might. The wind had hindered them, yet Ling Han remained a prodigy of unmatched strength. Could it truly be that he hailed from the mythical Great Ling Forbidden Land? Hu Jing, her anger barely contained, stepped forward. Her desire to protect Hu Bing had been thwarted by Ling Han's disdainful calm. Her fists itched to spill blood, but before she could act, Empress Luanxing intervened. "My husband has no time for you," she declared, her presence regal and commanding. "I shall exchange blows in his stead." Hu Jing's eyes burned with fury. The opportunity to vent her resentment, to mar the beauty of one who dared eclipse her, was irresistible. She unleashed a torrent of stone spikes from beneath the earth, each spike like a spear aimed at the Empress. But Empress Luanxing was no ordinary figure. With the absolute beginning stone in hand, a divine relic of unmatched resilience, she struck back. Peng! Peng! The stone tool shattered the assault, scattering the spikes like autumn leaves in a storm. The image was surreal. A great beauty wielding a mere slab of stone with elegance unmatched, slamming it toward Hu Jing's face. The force of the blow, amplified by the mountain winds, hurled Hu Jing backward. Her injuries surpassed even Hu Bing's. She was lifted by her companions, humiliated and struck, the words, "Ancestor Wenshin," absurdly etched across her face, a bizarre testament to the Empress's power. Hu Ken's eyes narrowed at the stone in the Empress's grasp. "Absolute beginning stone?" he murmured, awe and fear threading his voice. Its impenetrable surface and ancestral inscriptions spoke of secrets preserved across generations. Hu Shuyu, a woman in the early stage of the consummate level, nodded with absolute certainty. "It is the absolute beginning stone," she affirmed. Greed and determination lit the eyes of the other warriors. Such a treasure was not merely defensive, it could conceal techniques beyond imagining, a key to legacies long past. The battlefield crackled with the tension of mortal pride and the inexorable march of destiny, where mountain winds roared, swords sang, and the fates of warriors hung in precarious balance. Here the story of prodigies, forbidden lands, and divine tools would continue, etched into legend with every clash, every strike, and every measure of courage.